In this video, we're going to talk about how to find the LCM of 2, 3, and maybe even 4 numbers. So let's get straight into it. Now, find the LCM, or the least common multiple of 8 and 10. Now, there are like 3 or 4 ways you can find the LCM, but I'm going to use the division method, which I believe is the simplest, okay, or the most direct. So we have 8 and 10 here. So the next thing we do is to think of a number that can divide both 8 and 10, or saying, think of a factor of 8 and 10, which is 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, 10 divided by 2 is 5. We repeat the same step. Think of a number that can divide both 4 and 5. Okay. There isn't any other number except 1. So we're just going to have to ignore 1. We just ignore 1. Okay. So since there isn't any other number, the LCM will be what's on this side times what's left here. So that will be 2 times 4 times 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. The LCM of 8 and 10 is 40. And if you check it, 40 divided by 8 is 5. 40 divided by 10 is 4. So the LCM of 8, so the lowest number that can divide both 8 and 10 is 40. If you go lower than 440, you won't really find any number. 20 can't divide it completely. What else? 30 can do that, and yeah. 3 and 8. Okay, 3 and 8. Is there any factor except 1 that can divide, 3 and 8? No, it's just 1. Okay, so in this situation, we simply multiply 3 and 8. When you can't find any factor that can divide with the 2, then you just simply multiply them. That'll be 3 times 8, which is 24. So the LCM of 3 and 8 is 24. Now let's try 3, 8, and 10. 3, 8, and 10. So this gets very interesting. Now, the first thing we do, we think of factors for 3, 8, and 10 at the same time. Like, is there any number that can divide 3, 8, and 10 all at once? No, there isn't. There isn't any number that can do that. Okay, then we go for the next best thing. Is there any number that can divide at least 2 of these 3 numbers? Okay, yes. For 8 and 10, 2 can divide 8 and 10. So we can use 2. Okay, since 2 can divide 3, we keep the 3 here. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we repeat the same step. Is there any number here that can divide both 3, 4, and 5 at the same time? No, it's just 1. How about at least 2? Same thing, just 1. So our answer will be what's here times what's left. So we have 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 5 is 20. So 6 times 20 is 120. So the LCM of 3, 8, and 10 is 120. And if you check it, 120 divided by 3 is 40. 120 divided by 8. Okay, this should give you 1 and a 4, that'll be 15. 120 divided by 10 is 12. So the LCM of 3, 8, and 10 is 120. Let's try some other numbers. No, same thing. Find the LCM of 2 and 3. Okay, same process. Is there any number that can divide both 2 and 3? I mean, they are prime numbers themselves, so the answer will just be, it's only 1 that can do that, so the answer will just be 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, 3 and 5. 3 and 5 are prime numbers also. Okay, there isn't any other number that can divide two of them. Okay, so it's just going to be 3 times 5. So whenever you're finding the LCM of prime numbers, okay, when it's just prime numbers, when you just have prime numbers, then you can multiply them directly because they don't have any common factors at all. It'll be 15. Okay, so here we have 2, 3, and 5, all of which are prime numbers. These are all prime numbers. There is no, okay, is there any common number? Is there any number aside from 1 that can divide 2, 3, and 5? No. How about at least two of them? No. So it's just be 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So it's just, so when you have to find the LCM of only prime numbers, okay, when you just have prime numbers, then you can multiply them at will. Okay, but you can also use this just to make sure, use this division method. Okay, so let's go to, I think there's one more question. Aha, so find the LCM of 10 and 12. So let's do that. 10. So let's start. So we look for a number that's a common factor for 10 and 12. Number that can divide 10 and 12, which is 2. 2 and 10, 5. 2 and 12, 6. Now 5 and 6, is there any number that can divide both 5 and 6 aside from 1? No. So our LCM will be 2 times 5 times 6. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 6 is 60. So the LCM of 10 and 12 is 60. And if you check it, 60 divided by 10 is 6. 60 divided by 12 is 5. How about for 12 and 15? Same thing, 12. Is there any common number, common factor for 12 and 15? Yes, 3. Okay, 3 and 12 is 4. 3 and 15 is 5. So how about for 4 and 5? Any common factors except for 1? No, nothing else can go. So the LCM will be 3 times 4 times 5. 3 times 4 times 5. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, so the LCM of 12 and 5, the LCM of 12 and 15, sorry, is 60. 60 divided by 12 is 5. 60 divided by 15 is 4. I think you know what the answer is going to be for the third one, but let's just do it. Just to, 10, 12, and 15. Okay, is there any number that can divide all of them at the same time? No. Okay, no. Now let's say at least 2. So we can start with 10 and 12. So what's common in 10 and 12? 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we keep the 15. Okay, anything else? Is there any number that can divide all of them at the same time? No. How about at least 2? Yes. Okay, we can do 5 and 15 or 6 and 15. I'll do 5 and 15. I'll just do 5 and 15. Okay, so 5 divided by 5 here is 1. So 6 can go in 5. We keep the 6. 15 divided by 5, that is 3. Okay, so we're left with 1. We can ignore the 1. Is there any number that can go in 6 and 3? Yes, 3. So 3. Again, we ignore the 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I left with 1, 2, and 1. Then there's nothing else. Okay, there's no number like this is 1, 2, and 1. So there's literally nothing else. So we're gonna multiply what's here and what's left here. It's gonna be 2 times 5 times 3. You can put the 1 if you want, but just ignore the 1, just put the 2. So again, 2 times 5, that's 10. 10 times 3 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. So the LCM of 10, 12, and 15 is 60. So again, let me just try to explain just in case, or let me do it again, just in case you didn't get it. Okay, so normally we'll look for a number that can divide all of them at the same time, 10, 12, and 15, but there isn't any number. So when you look for the next best thing, a number that can divide at least 2. We can choose 10 and 12 because 2 is common, and we can choose 10 and 15. We can choose, like, we can use 2 at the same time, but not all 3. So I chose 10 and 12. But let me do something different. Let me use 10 and 15 now. Okay, so what's the number that can divide both 10 and 15? It's 5. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we can, since 12 can go in 5, we can just keep the 12 for now. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, so is there any number that can go in all of them at the same time? No. In at least 2? Oh, sure. 2 and 12. Okay, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And we just keep the 3 here. Okay, now we have 163. We can ignore the 1 now, since that's the lowest number. We can go. So is there any number that can divide both 6 and 3? Yes, 3. Okay, so we can just keep the 1. You can ignore the 1 actually. Okay, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so we're left with, okay, so we can't go any further than this. Any number that can divide both 2 and 1? No, just 1 itself. So we multiply what's here with what's left here. It'll be 5 times 2 times 3 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. So either way, we're always going to get 60. So this is how you do it. So you can do it for 4 numbers, 5 numbers. This, I believe, is kind of the best way to find LCM. Just me. So if you have any questions, please, I would appreciate if you like the video, leave a comment, or let me know if you have any questions, and I will get back to your questions as soon as possible. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.